So that happened. Alright, YouTube, alright, realists. What is up, everybody? Once again, the Real Sports Talk. What is good on the internet? What's good in sports? All that good mess. My name is Akeem Balaam, doing recaps tonight of NBA playoff games. I already did one earlier with the Bulls and the Nets. Now talking Clippers and Memphis Grizzlies. It was actually turned out to be a rather resounding performance by the LA Clippers, as the final score seemed to indicate. As a 37-point fourth quarter, they wound up scoring almost 40 points, did the LA Clippers, in the fourth quarter. And as a result, what was actually a rather competitive game, but it was actually a rather entertaining game between the Clippers and the Grizzlies, actually turned into a rather dominant performance as the Clippers beat the Grizzlies in game one by a final score of 112-91. Again, once again, because of that huge fourth quarter that they played. So the Clippers will be going up on the Grizzlies 1-0 after it was, of course, in last year's series between these same two teams, where they wound up going the distance. They wound up going the full 7 games. You know, one of the things that kind of stuck out to me as I was watching the course of this game was it seems as though that both of the teams, that both the Grizzlies and the Clippers, actually were playing almost to their own weaknesses. I mean, they were both excelling in areas that you did not think that they would excel. I mean, the Clippers they're not called Lob City for nothing. So they've kind of gained a reputation, at least this year, for always being the team that has all the huge dunks, all the huge highlight dunks. They're always the team that you think is going to lead in fast break points. But actually, it was, for most of the game, if I'm not mistaken, for all of the game, it was actually the Grizz that were actually able to get the lead as far as fast break points are concerned, and it looked as if that the Clippers were actually doing rather well in terms of offensive rebounding and in terms of second chance points. I don't know, I forgot the exact statistic as it was as far as second chance points for about 3 quarters, but considering the closeness of that game, really the fact that the Clippers were absolutely obliterating Memphis as far as offensive boards, as far as second chance points were concerned, that was really the main thing as to why it was so close and why the Clippers were able to stay close. Maybe they were down by a little bit, in some portions of the game, but it was just that one thing why they were able to stay close. And then all of a sudden in that fourth quarter, what broke loose, as what was actually a rather close game turned into a huge 21-point deficit, a huge 21-point advantage if you are the LA Clippers, and they win game one once again by 21 points. And you have of course, you have all of your main performers. I mean, Jared Bayless, 19 points. 3 assists for the Memphis Grizzlies. Chris Paul, 23 points, 7 assists. Those are typical numbers for him for CP3. Also, going down the line as far as who had also pretty big games. Chauncey Billups with 14 points. Eric Bledsoe with 15. Actually, it was kind of interesting. And they mentioned, it was Chauncey Billups, I guess, going up against Tayshaun Prince, the former 2004 Detroit Pistons, who of course won that championship that year. But Zach Randolph with 13, Marc Gasol with 16, Mike Conley with 12, and just going down the line, and everybody else that had a pretty big days for both of these teams. Once again, the Clippers win. Final score 112-91, as game one of that series is now in the books. So once again, did you enjoy that game? Rate, comment, react, reply, add, and subscribe. Look forward to reading your comments as always, because I'm just one guy talking about sports here on the Real Sports Talk. Game 2 between these same two teams shall emanate, of course, from the Staples Center. It will once again be at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. Game 2 Monday April 22nd, of course. So once again, did you enjoy the game? Have you enjoyed the first 4 games today? Already had 4 games today in the NBA playoffs, and a lot more coming over the next few days, weeks, and even months. Because remember, this is something that of course, keeps on keeping on up until the month of June when we crown an NBA champion. So once again, I'm just one guy talking about sports here on The Real Sports Talk, talking NBA playoffs. A lot more of that where we come from. Best NBA playoffs anywhere. Best NBA coverage anywhere, of course, here on TRST. So once again, thanks for joining us. Thanks for following us and keeping up with us and watching our vids and reacting to us. For Tim, Justin, and everybody else, I'm Akeem Balaam signing off. See you on the internet somewhere.